Hi, welcome to my video on dividing a monomial by a monomial. When we were multiplying in the previous video, when we multiplied, we added the exponents. So when you're dividing, you subtract your exponents. If you remember that if you got an x cubed divided by x squared, that's x times x times x over x squared is x times x. So we cancel the x's out and we get 1x. So notice 3, subtract 2. Because you're dividing, you subtract. So you subtract your exponents, but you keep your base. The only way you don't keep your base, if you had a4 divided by a4, you cancel, you subtract, and you get a to the 0, but a to the 0 is 1. Besides, when you divide any number by itself, they cancel out, except 0 divided by 0. So let's divide two monomials. Dividing two monomials is done by dividing the numerical coefficients, that's dividing the numbers, dividing the literal coefficients, that means the variables, and subtracting your exponents, and then you put them together by multiplying. Let's do some examples. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And x squared divided by x, 2 minus 1 is 1. I'll put the 1 in there, but normally you won't see the 1 in there. So you subtract, remember that's a 1. Divide here and I'll get negative divided by positive is a negative. 18 divided by 6 is 3. And notice the x's are the same, so that's a 1 minus 1 is 0, so x to the 0 is 1. So they cancel out because they're the same. And the y, 6 minus 2 or take away 2 is 4. We subtract the exponents. Negative divided by negative is positive. 20 divided by 5 is 4. And 3 minus 1 is 2. 6 minus 3 is 3. 4 minus 2 is 2. Remember, when you're dividing, you subtract your exponents because you're canceling them out like up here. D, negative divided by positive is a negative. 24 divided by 8 is 3. And that's 4 subtract 1, that's a 1. So you get 3. 3 subtract 2 is 1. And the 1 I won't put there, but it's understood. 30 divided by 10 is 3. And there's no x's to move, so the x has to stay right where it is. And there's a y top and bottom. So 8 minus 2 is 6. So the x's, there's no x's to subtract exponents, so it stays as x to the 6th. Positive divided by negative is a negative. 21 divided by 7 is 3. And D, we got 10 on top, 4 on the bottom, so that's 6 on the top. And we have the e to the 5, so they're the same, so we cancel them out. Remember, that's e to 5 minus 5. That's e to the 0, which is 1. So we can cancel them out as in 1 over 1. Or we can subtract the exponents to get e to the 0, which is a 1. But then a 1 times negative 3d6 is the same. I have 10 here for you to do. Pause your video, work these out, and play back to see if you're going to get the right answer. Negative divided by a negative, negative divided by positive is negative. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And because we're dividing, we subtract. 6 subtract 4 is 2. Negative divided by negative is a positive. So that gives me a 5, positive 5. And 11 minus 6 is 5. And 7 minus 2 is 5. When you divide, you subtract your exponents. 100 divided by 50 is 2. And 7 subtract 1 is 6. 6 subtract 3 is 2. V, I got 9 and 6 is 3 extra on the top. We subtract. And the w squared and w squared cancels out. So the answer is 2 x to the 6 y squared v3. Number 4, positive divided by negative is a negative. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 13 take away 4 is 9. And 10 take away 7 is 3. we subtract the exponents. Negative divided by negative is positive. 45 divided by 15 is 3. I got 6, take away 2 is 4. 5 subtract 3 is 2. And 3 subtract 1 is 2. Notice that's a 1 there. Don't forget, if there's no exponent, it's a 1. X to the 1. If there's no exponent, put a 1 in. You can put it there or keep it in your head. 88 divided by 11 is 8. And X is top and bottom, we subtract 6. And the Y's are top and bottom, so we subtract. We get a 1, but I won't put the 1 in. I could put the 1 there, but you won't see it. Number 7, positive divided by negative is a negative. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 subtract 1 is 3. 6 subtract 2 is 4. And we don't have any C's on the bottom, so it stays as C to the 8th. D is 2 subtract 1 is 1. I won't put it in. And 3 subtract 2 is 1, but I won't put that in. I could put a 1 there and a 1 there, but you won't see it. Notice the C didn't change because there's none on the bottom to cancel out or to subtract from. 18 divided by 9 is 2. And 4 subtract 1 is 3. That's a 1 there, understood. Number 9, negative divided by positive is a negative. 7 divided by 7 is 1. And X, 5 subtract 3 is 2. And the Y's cancel because they're the same. Remember that Y, when you subtract, you get 4 minus 4 is 0. And Y to the 0 is 1. So notice I didn't put the 1 in here. And I just canceled those out like that. I could have gone 4 minus 4, which is Y to the 0, and Y to the 0 is 1. So that's why when you cancel these, because you're dividing, you can cancel them out. So positive divided by negative is a negative. 36 divided by 6 is 6. And 2 minus 1 is 1. And 6 minus 2 is 4. Again, I didn't put the 1 there, as understood. That's another video done, and this is one is on division of monomials. So important to practice. Remember, find where they are in your notes or in your book, textbook, and practice. The more practice you do, the better you get. If you make mistakes, correct them, learn by them, because algebra is so important to do a lot of practice. Just give you a little note, because this is a short video. When I was in university doing my math, prof, after explaining an hour's explaining, he said, go home and work out these questions that I give you on these sheets. So when I went home, I had about 50 problems to work out. So I said, I'm going to get them done. So I worked them out one by one. And when I got them, I got them all. There was 2 I couldn't get. I worked on them and worked on them and worked on them. I said, I'm going to get those. Finally, I had to give up. So when I went and got back in, I asked him, I said, how do you do these? He explained. And when I seen him, the trick that I need to do to get them, to this day, I never forgot those problems, how I worked, and I remembered the mistakes or the tricks that I had to do. Anyway, if you like my video, then click on the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, because there's more videos coming. Write a comment. And my math website is mathfullyexplained.com. And there you get information in 3 sections on me, my teaching experience, my degrees, my videos. Section talks about the strategies you're going to do to help you learn. And the content is most important because that's the topics that are online or will be online. And the number of videos on each of those topics. And the black font is what's online right now. And the red font is what will be online in the near future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.